my ex-husband, he leaves for another woman, okay? I'm devastated. And so initially, I went to church. I went to this really small church, and I got baptized in a river, and I'm like, oh God, please help me, kind of thing. I got angry at God. God wasn't in my mind helping me the way that he should or as fast as he could. And so I go and I decide that I'm going to take matters into my own hands, and I get into this other relationship really quickly. Anyways, there were so many red flags that had I been really following God and wanting to find a man that was also following God, I would not have gotten myself into this mess. But so the guy asked me, he's like, I never hear you cuss. Do you cuss? And I was like, no, not really. And I've never been much of a cusser. But so he says this, and then I also, somehow in this conversation, it gets brought up that I go to church, and he goes, oh, you just every now and again? Or I go, no, every Sunday. He goes, every Sunday? And so, but what ended up happening is, so he was agnostic. And this was like, I had never even at that point, never heard this word. This was during the time where online, like it was MySpace I remember that's how we met, was MySpace. Okay. So that's like dating this back, right? And so that's when people started putting like their spiritual preferences and stuff and beliefs. And so I never knew, I didn't even know what it was. Like, I was like, I had to look it up. Anyways, so what ends up happening is I end up start drinking with him on the weekends and not going to church. And then this is actually the point where, so it pulls me away from Christ, and then I actually get into the New Age. And you date a non-believer, it's just really hard, especially as women, to not be pulled away. I don't know how exactly it is for men, but for women, it is hard for us. So if you are in that space where you haven't met anyone yet, I personally would never compromise that. I will never compromise that again. I will